Hi friends, welcome to Vlogmas day 13. We're almost halfway through. Actually, we are halfway through Vlogmas. Oh my gosh. But today I wanted to make a special video for my crochet iconic women. So yeah. It is 12 or 2:35. This is like 4 hours after I had pulled everything out. So since I finished all of the ladies, I thought, let's pull them out, let's talk about them, and then I'll put them away, kind of reorganize, redo everything, now that everybody is done. And so, if you're new, you may be wondering, crochet ladies, what are you talking about? I'm talking about these books. Crochet Iconic Women by Carla Mitrani, and then More Crochet Iconic Women. So I have crocheted 30 ladies plus more. I basically in the book she says mix and match and make your own ladies, make them how you make whoever you want based off of these patterns, which I did. And then I've made a couple more that were gifts. I can't think off of the top of my head how many I've done. I'll put it on the screen for you. But there are a lot. There are a lot of ladies. So, without further ado, shall we get started talking about them? And we'll start with the first lady I ever did. I was kind of thinking, do I go in order of what I did, or in the books, or... I set aside certain ones I wanted to talk about, and then we'll go from there. So, from the first book, they're all over on this side. My makes, and then the second book are all on this side. So the couch is full. It is full. I barely have a place to sit. But the first lady I did, this book came out shortly after she had passed away, so I had to make her. And plus, the first three ladies that I did, I actually have shawls that I've designed in honor of them. And also in the book she uses just regular black safety eyes. I did my research. I looked up what color eyes they actually had, so I tried to use colored eyes. Obviously with some of them, they're ancient and we don't know. We can guess, but anyway. So the first lady I ever did, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Love RBG. There's her cute little ponytail in the back. I mean, she has been in the case forever. And we even did little ears and earrings on her. I'd forgotten about the earrings. I did her back in 2020, so this has been 5 years. I think she recently came up on my memories that I finished her, or maybe it was Jane. Speaking of Jane, we have Jane Austen, and her birthday is coming up. It is on Tuesday, the 16th of December. Yes, and she is actually, like, you're supposed to create a shawl. I basically did a mini version of the shawl that I did for her. So this is the Persuasion shawl, mini version for my lovely Jane, with her cute little bun. I will say, I did not like making these hats. I feel like all my hats look really dumb. So, that one's not too bad. Then we have Marie Curie. Now, I put her eyes a little too far apart, so it always bothers me when I see her. And I did want to say that when I started, the yarn that I used for the white skin is very thin. It was like a sport weight yarn, mostly. So those ladies that I did at the beginning are a lot smaller. The white skin ladies, I should say, are a lot smaller than the other ladies. She has her own little Erlen flask of radium. And then I'll just grab. So yeah, so those three I have patterns that are named after that, or named after things that are pertinent to them. Next we have the Lady with the Lamp, Florence Nightingale. And again, like, I used a smaller yarn, so the cap is like huge on her because this is a thicker yarn. You gotta remember that when you're making amigurumis, okay? Yeah, so Florence Nightingale. We have Cleopatra. Her hair is very heavy, so she has a hard time keeping her head up. I did enjoy making the crown. That was kind of fun. Her little collar is cute too. So that coffee table is gonna fill up real quick. Oh, and then we have Audrey Hepburn. Oh my goodness. Her little tiara and her little necklace here, and her black gloves. And then Emmeline Pankhurst. Looking at it now, it's like her eyes are a bit far apart too. For those of you who don't know who Emmeline Pankhurst is, she was the leader of the suffrage movement in England. So I put my little Votes for Women badge on there for her. Amelia Earhart. I think I sewed her hat on a little crooked, but oh well. And her little aviator glasses. She's so cute. I usually would stitch this close. I must not have thought about that when I was making her. Yes. Oh, and then we have the Queen. So let's tuck that down a little. See, like, what I mean? Like, I didn't like the way the hats were made, or at least I didn't like the way I made the hats. So yeah, this one I changed a little bit. Basically, I picked the color of her dress and her hat and the flowers that were in her hat that she wore to Harry and Meghan's wedding. I wanted that to be represented. But she was famous for wearing all the colors of the rainbow. So we will set her there. Then we have somebody who is still alive. We have Greta Thunberg. I think I'm still going to keep a shelf. I had a shelf that had all the people that were still alive when I made them. Queen Elizabeth was on that shelf, and then I had to move her. And then just recently I had to move Jane Goodall. But you'll see Jane in a second. But here's Greta. She's still alive. I loved her little braid, her little pigtail braid, her little hoodie. So cute. Somebody else that's still alive is Serena Williams. They had her in Carla made in the pattern book. She had a little dress and a little tennis dress. But I decided to mimic or do her outfit. That was what she wore when she won the French Open after she had had her daughter. And so basically she wore this cat suit, but it was all compression, like it was to prevent blood clots because she had had a difficult birth with her daughter. And so she wore this amazing suit to win the French Open. So I wanted to honor that. And speaking of Jane Goodall, we have her here. And you crochet a little monkey, although my monkey turned out so big, I think because of the size of the yarn. But yeah, so here's the little monkey that goes with Jane. Although I will say, looking at her, I'm like, her hair looks like George Washington. But anyway. Okay. And then we have Rosa Parks, their little purse as well. It was in December, wasn't it, when she refused to stand up and move to the back of the bus? So that's yeah, I believe that was recently in something I saw. So yeah. And then we have the fabulous Billie Holiday with her gardenia flowers. And this dress was a lot of fun to make. I think I've made her 3 times though. I ended up giving one away to Ryan's coworker. She wanted a black angel. So I took Billie Holiday and put angel wings on her. And then I remade her. Okay. And then somebody else that is still alive. We have Malala Yousafzai. I love her. I love what she stood for. All of that. And then the other day on Instagram, I follow this lady, Amanda Gorman. She is not in the books. She is one I made up myself. There's a picture of her and Malala hanging out. And I was like, I crocheted both of them. I thought that was so cool. So Amanda Gorman is the poet laureate. She read a poem at Joe Biden's inauguration. So I basically did her outfit from that day, including the red headband. I thought that was a cute touch. So those are all from the first book, plus an extra one. So another lady that I designed myself, Mary Poppins. So yeah, most of the ladies are real, except for her. And like I said, the hats, I don't know what it is about making these hats that just turn out horrible for me, but Mary Poppins is my favorite movie, and so I had to have a Mary Poppins lady. And then of course I had to make my birthday buddy. There are a lot of people that I share my birthday with, but she is my favorite. August 6th is a great day. So yeah, so this is Lucille Ball, if you were wondering. I basically, so there was a photo of her that they used to make the Barbie of her that I used to make the crochet lady. Another very influential person that I really admire is Ida B. Wells. I'm always excited when I see Ida B. Wells Street in downtown Chicago. When we drive, I'm always like, oh, there's Ida B. Wells. And then, I'm going to do this for every lady, I bet you. Frida Kahlo. She really did not have a unibrow, but she always painted herself with that. And then the last time Ryan and I were in Cozumel, I stopped in a jewelry store and I had on my Frida Kahlo t-shirt. And this guy was like, oh yeah, Diego, da 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 da, started talking about Frida's husband. And I was like, who? Who's Diego? And he's like, what? Like, how do you not know Diego? I'm like, I know Diego. I don't like Diego. I'd rather talk about Frida. And then we have another fictional woman, but she was real. She was very real. Rosie the Riveter. Oh my gosh. I just love how she turned out. Here's some of her stuffing is showing. That's what that is. Stuffing is coming through. By the way, if you hear those pops, that's our heating system. Just so you know. And then I need to talk about the birthday girl, because today, December 13th, is her birthday. And she is one of my favorite first ladies. One, because she was born in Kentucky. I am still a Kentucky girl at heart. Her husband was born in Kentucky, so you probably know who I'm talking about. The 16th president, Mary Todd Lincoln. Look at her. Oh, she's so cute. So I designed her dress. She's obviously not in one of the books, but I designed her dress after a dress that's in, I think it's still in the Smithsonian. I'll find that out. But it was designed by her dressmaker, who was a former slave, Elizabeth Keckley, and I just wanted to honor her as well with this dress. Like, it's so pretty. And then this one was an easy make. I just had to switch the hair color and the skin color. And we have Bessie Coleman, an aviator, just like Amelia Earhart. Now, see, this is prime example of the yarn difference. Because honestly, I think Bessie Coleman was smaller than Amelia Earhart. If I'm honest, she was a very tiny lady. This is another lady that was on my list of ladies to make that weren't in the books, but I didn't get to her till last month, and that is Marie Antoinette. And I did her dress based off of the painting, the Chemise à la Reine. Yeah, caused a big uproar because, you know, women's clothing is always causing a big uproar. Okay, I have two more ladies that were not in the book. And that is, if you've watched the movie Hidden Figures, you have seen Katherine Johnson. Very cute. I will say the glasses are cute, but I hate making those glasses. They hurt my fingers. And then the last lady, well, I shouldn't say the last, that I made up myself. This is Wilma Mankiller. She is a Cherokee Indian. She was the first, and I think the only woman to be president of the Cherokee Nation. So yeah, she's on a quarter. So lately they've been putting ladies on quarters. I do have two of hers. I still need to get a Bessie Coleman, though. That is one I've been looking for lately. Mostly because I've crocheted them. The other ladies, I still like them. I just want the ones that I've crocheted. Okay, so there were two ladies that oh wait, totally forgot about her. Mostly because she matches another lady, but this is one that I made up myself. This is one of my favorite authors of all time. This is Agatha Christie. I'm listening to her book currently as we speak. It just got good. Poirot has entered the building, I should say. Anyway, I was supposed to do a hat for her, and I made it, and it looked atrocious. So I think it is hidden in the closet upstairs. Like, no. Okay, so there were two ladies that I crocheted that I thought, oh, I'll just make them up, whatever. And then the second book came out, and those two ladies were in the book. So I was like, hey, I'm on the right track. The first one being Anne Frank. I think they had her hair darker in the book, and then she crocheted a little hair clip, a little barrette for Anne, which I might still do. Don't know what's going on with my diaphragm right now. Anyway, so Anne Frank, another great young lady. I wish she could have gone on to do more things. But another lady that did a lot. So this is my version of her. There's another version of her that Carla designed that's in the second book. And that is Harriet Tubman. And I kind of did my design based off of the movie Harriet with Cynthia Erivo. I have to hold her head up because the kerchief is so heavy. It makes her head fall. So, anyway, but yes, Harriet Tubman, highly, highly love and respect what she did. Okay, so now we are going to book 2, more iconic crochet women. Let's go with her first. We have Helen Keller. And yes, embroidering eyes is not a thing that I like to do, so glad there was only one that I had to worry about this for. I loved her little collar on her dress and her little collar, like little ruffles on her sleeves. And I liked how her hair turned out. Thought that was so cute. Then we have the first lady of science fiction, Mary Shelley. Mary Shelley, the author of Frankenstein. Yes, so like her book is basically the first science fiction book ever made. And then you crochet a little Frankenstein to go with her. I thought that was so fun. And of course I had to do her in October in the middle. Figured it was only fitting. Next, this is a lady I really didn't know much about when I got the book. Since then, the History Chicks. It's a podcast that I listen to religiously. They did an episode on her, and that is Wangari Maathai. She is from Kenya, and she is known for planting trees, basically replenishing the forest in Kenya. She's also a politician, and she's won the Nobel Peace Prize, I think. I'll put the correct info on the screen. Oh, and then we have another lady that I designed a shawl after. Can you tell who this is? Let's fix your beads here. Yes. Okay. This is Josephine Baker and her banana skirt. Yes, this was 18 bananas that I had to crochet. I probably stuffed them a little too much. But anyway, because they're not supposed to be, and they're, I think the yarn that I used was a little thicker than it should have been, because they're not supposed to be that big. But I still love her banana skirt. Oh, I totally forgot about her. Yes. We have Hypatia of Alexandria. I have a hat design that I've designed after her. Again, she's an ancient one, so not quite sure her eye color, so I used black. Just because, you know, want to be true to her. But yes, her little headband, her hair, that was all fun to do as well. We have Princess Overboard. I'll get to the princesses here in a bit. But speaking of princesses, we have Princess Diana. As someone who was very little when she, actually, I wasn't even one year old yet when her and Charles got married and she became an actual princess. But I remember getting a paper doll of her, like all of it. So, and I followed her. I loved everything about her. So when she died, I was very upset. But yeah. So I had Princess Diana. I think when I finished her, I didn't have the necklace, but I found a way to get the necklace now. So actually, let's put her right next to her mother-in-law. That'd be good. Okay, and then glasses, again, very difficult. This is Grace Hopper. She is a naval commander. I'll put her correct title, rank on the screen. Why can't I think? I don't know. But she is known for computer programming. She went to, there was something going on, and there was an actual moth in the computer. So when we talk about there's a bug in the computer, that comes from her. And then we have one more lady that's still alive, and that is Dolly Parton. We need to wrap her in bubble wrap, keep her safe for as long as we can. But yes, I did a small, tight, sparkly dress on her, totally different from the pattern in the book. Then we have the beautiful, fabulous Ella Fitzgerald with her gardenia flower. Her hair is kind of, there we go. Yes, and I fell in love with her music. I put it on while I was crocheting her. I was like, yes, I really like her music a lot. Then we have Good Queen Bess, Elizabeth I. This one was a lot of fun. I will say crocheting this rough was rough. Realize I do not like slip stitches. Her hair was a lot of fun to make as well, and then to put the pearls in there. We have her pearls here to represent her virginity. Her little puffs here. She's so cute. And then, hang in there, Joan. And again, this hair, did not like making this hair, but Joan of Arc, wonderful lady, very courageous. And then, a recent birthday girl is Ada Lovelace. Her birthday was on December 10th, so just a few days ago. She is the mother of computers. She designed the first one back in the 1800s, around the time of Queen Victoria. And I will say her hair was a lot of fun to make. It was tedious making those long strips because it starts here and you just and then you just wrap it around and stitch it down. But yes, Ada Lovelace. And then my last lady that I made is Misty Copeland. She's another one where I changed the design. So in the book, she's basically in a white leotard and a white tutu with white shoes. And I was like, no, she needs to be, her first major role was the Firebird in the ballet Firebird. And so that's what her Barbie is based off of, so that's what I made for her. Her sparkly, and then her point shoes that are close to her skin color. But then, so those are the ones by Carla Matrani and myself. But I basically used her designs, finagled my way. But I did make some other princesses and some princes. So for my birthday, and I think for Christmas one year, the church got me a book of patterns by Green Frog Crochet, and they are Disney princesses and Disney princes. And so I crocheted my two favorite couples from Disney movies. The first one being, of course, my top favorite Disney princess is Rapunzel. Now I do have other favorites. I may make those. I'm not sure. Yeah, so here's Rapunzel. This is obviously not a true replica of Rapunzel from the Disney movies. I don't think you can do that. But yeah, I kind of like having a representation of it. And I loved the hair was something. The hair was something. And especially the way you have to crochet this hair. Not a fan of it, but once it's done, it looks so cute. So we have Rapunzel, and then of course we have Eugene. They are my favorite couple together. I love their banter and their dynamic. It's so cute. And yes, I call him Eugene. I call him by his real name. And then my other favorite Disney princess is Tiana. And I'm very excited because our next cruise is on the Disney Wonder, and they have Tiana's restaurant on that ship. So that means I get some good Cajun food when I go on that ship. Very excited about that. So yeah, so we have Tiana from Princess and the Frog. And then they didn't have Naveen, so I kind of finagled him out of the other patterns. So we have Tiana and Naveen, and I love their banter as well. Like, I love them together. And so, with that, the ladies are all done. And part of me is kind of sad because I'm like, I have no one else to look forward to. Not that I can't make somebody else. I may. I don't know. There are a couple ladies that I've heard of recently. Like, they're new, like, historical ladies that you don't really hear about a lot. So I may be doing them. I don't know. But I did have a plan. After I set all the ladies on top of it. This idea hit me the other day. Like, it was just a bolt of lightning, light bulb moment. That's why my logo is the way it is because honestly I feel like I kind of have some of those light bulb moments, like, ah. So a few years ago I had crocheted my Christmas tree skirt, and this year when I was putting it up around the tree, I was like, you know what, it's getting a little worse for the wear. May need to do something about that. And then my thought, but before that, my thought was, when I'm done crocheting all these ladies, all the scraps that I have left from them, I'm going to make a scrap blanket. That's what I planned on doing for over a year. That's what I was going to do. When I finished all the ladies, make a scrap blanket. And then I had the idea, what if I use the scraps to make a new Christmas tree skirt? And so I found a pattern. It is based off of the Starshine Hugs and Kisses blanket. This is from the Crochet Crowd, Mikey. So he took that blanket pattern and made a Christmas tree skirt. So it is the Christmas Starshine Christmas tree skirt. Oh, sorry, Crochet Star. Blah, blah, blah. Trying to read it backwards. But, I mean, this is using a cake of yarn, but it looks like scrap yarn. So, and there's a lot of fun stitches in here, so that'll keep it interesting. I think I'm going to wait till, January maybe. Lay out all my leftover yarns, put them in an order, then like put them in like groups, like this group and then this group. So that way I still haven't quite figured it out. I kind of want it to be more like a rainbow, where, because I have blacks, I have browns, I have whites, I have grays. Those And then, of course, all the other fun colors left over. I have several kinds of greens, several kinds of blues, purples, obviously. So I'm just gonna kind of group them together, and we'll see what it comes out to. I was thinking have a white in between each row kind of thing. We'll see. We'll see. And so now I have to put all these ladies back. And so I'm gonna reorganize the shelves how they are, and then we'll go from there.